I think a lot of times
Wanted to switch gears to UFO and the Intel Committee's push for more information from the Pentagon. How did the subject first get into your radar screen, and did you make inquiries after the December 2017 story in the New York Times?
Yeah, I mean, when people talk about that topic, it's always, I think we're talking about space aliens or something like that. I mean, for me, it has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with a very simple fact, and that is that there are things flying over our military installations, and the military doesn't know what they are. And so anytime you have things flying over a military installation and you don't know what they are, that immediately raises issues of counterintelligence, and that immediately raises issues of national security. And so my view of it is that we have something that we need to know the answer to. The American public deserve to know as much as possible about it, and we shouldn't allow the stigma associated with the term UFO to keep us from trying to answer that question. At the end of the day, if these are things that are potentially endangering our national security and could cause an accident, in terms of crashing into something that's up there. So I don't know what they are, and that's the problem. They don't either. So we need to have an answer to it, and the American public deserves to know. And we can't let the stigma of UFOs and space alien stuff keep us from answering that question.
Is it possible the objects shown in the 3 videos are explainable as misidentified phenomenon, as birds or flares, or did you hear something enough supporting information to convince you that the unknown objects are advanced, intelligently controlled aircraft of unknown origin?
Well, that's the key question, right? And the answer is they don't know. And it could. I mean, again, the logic would tell you that when it's all said and done, if you really look at it carefully, it'll turn out to be something that's easily explainable. But they don't know that. They can't say that to us right now. And so rather than guess or speculate or dismiss it, I think we need to have an answer to it. We don't want to wake up one day and realize that some adversary has taken some significant technological leap forward that we were caught unaware of. We don't want to wake up to that news. We don't want to wake up to the news that there was an accident because someone was flying some sophisticated drone over a military facility, and now some F-35 is in the water and the pilot is dead. We don't want any of those problems. And so that's why I think we need to take this seriously and not view this as some sort of kooky alien thing. There's nothing to do with aliens for me. It has to do with national security.
Is it possible that the UAPs in the video are part of some other classified program being developed by the U.S. military, or do you rule out the possibility that some branch of our military developed these machines?
Well, I would say that if that was the case, then we probably wouldn't be talking about it in the way that we are now, since we know the answer to the question. So I think that answers that. I mean, if we knew what they were, we'd find a different way to discuss it. And so but you certainly wouldn't see this sort of demand for more attention to be paid because we'd know the answer.
Is there bipartisan support for a formal investigation of UAP, and are your colleagues on Intel as supportive of the task force as you are?
Yeah, I think it's certainly not a partisan issue. I think there's different levels of interest in it. Obviously, look, the stigma, it starts out with the fact that a lot of pilots for a long time wouldn't even report on these things because they were told, no, you need to go see the flight surgeon to check your head. So people just decided, they're going to think I'm crazy. I'm not going to report on it. And I think some of that seeps into the politics. No one ever wants to be accused of being a person that's out there sort of chasing these things that have been the realm of science fiction for such a long time. But I remind everybody, I want you to put aside all that stuff that people talk about, extraterrestrials and all that. This is a very simple equation for me. There are things flying over our military installations. We don't know what they are or where they're from. We don't know if it's some other country that's doing it, and we need to know the answer to that question. Simple. That's what it's about. I'm not going to speculate about what it is. I'm not going to try to guess. I'm not going to fall into all these traps, conspiracy theories. We just need to know the answer to that question.
Last one on UFO. The president has made a few public statements about it. Have you spoken to him on this subject? And if so, what can you tell us about the conversation?
No, I haven't spoken to him about this. Again, this is being handled by the Department of Defense and the intelligence agencies and others. But I have not spoken to him about this. Spoken to him about a lot of other things like offshore drilling and the like, but not this.
I think